Model 1, Lesson 1, Why ratios need to be considered while selecting the stock. Okay, now we discuss about the financial ratio analysis. For that, we take an example of Asian Paint shares. So you are seeing different ratios over here, right? That is current ratio, ROE, quick ratio, return on equity, dividend payout, debt to equity ratio, return on assets. So we discuss about this in detail and how to interpret the numbers. So what is financial ratios? Financial ratios is created with the use of numerical values taken from financial statements to gain meaningful information about a company. The number is taken from company's financial statement such as balance sheet, income statement and cash flow statement are used to perform quantitative analysis and assess the company's liquidity, leverage, growth, margin, profitability, return on rate, valuation and more. So financial ratios are of 5 types: liquidity ratio, asset turnover ratio, financial leverage ratio, profitability ratio, dividend policy ratio. So we discuss about first one is the liquidity ratio. Liquidity ratio provides information about a firm's ability to meet its short-term financial obligation. So first ratio we're going to discuss is the current ratio. The current ratio is often classified as a liquidity ratio. A larger current ratio is better than a smaller one. However, a company's liquidity is dependent on converting the current assets into cash in times to pay its obligation. So here the interpretation is higher the current ratio, better it is for the company. So next one is the quick ratio. So one drawback of the current ratio is that inventory may included in many items that are difficult to liquidate quickly and that have uncertain liquidation value. The quick ratio is an alternative measure of liquidity that does not include inventory in current assets. So quick ratio is also called as a acid test ratio. So here the formula is current assets minus inventory divided by current liabilities. So current assets here include cash, accounts receivable and notes receivable. So next we discuss is the assets turnover ratio. So assets turnover ratio indicates of how efficiently the firm utilizes its assets. So first one is receivable turnover or debtors turnover ratio. So debtors turnover ratio is an indication of how quickly the firm collects its account receivables. The receivable turnover often it is reported in terms of the number of days that credit sales remains in account receivable before they are collected. So accounts receivable turnover is the number of times per year that a business collects its average account receivable. The ratio is intended to evaluate the ability of the companies to meet efficiently, issue credit to its customers and collect funds from them in a timely manner. A higher turnover ratio indicates a combination of conservative credit policy and an aggressive collection department as well as high quality customers. So here the interpretation is receivable turnover ratio. A high ratio indicates shorter collection period, which means prompt payment by debtors. A low ratio indicates longer collection period, which means delayed payment by debtors. So in this is the debtor days. So debtor days is 365 days divided by debtor turnover ratio. So interpretation of this is lower number of days is better for a company. So here we have to think about two. Debtors receivable turnover should be high, debtor day should be lower. So next one, inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio is a measure of how efficiently a company can control its merchandises. So it's important to have high turns. This shows the company does not overspend by buying too much inventory and waste resources by storing non-saleable inventory. It also shows that a company can effectively sell the inventory it buys. This measurement shows how easily a company can turn its inventory into cash. Inventory turnover varies with industry. For instance, appraisal industry will have high turns than an exotic car industry. So interpretation is high number is better over here. So here we take an example of the Asian Paints again. So here the chart is from 2006 to 2019 and the ratios we are getting from 2007 to 2018. So here you can see the debtor days in March 2007 it is 44, in 8 it is 40, in 9 it is 40 and same in 17 it is 35 and March it is 38. So 38 days in March, 38 days are required to collect the accounts receivable. So here there is a little bit decline is there. So in 2017 it is 6.51, it is in March 2018 is 6.37. A little bit slowdown is happening over here, but it's okay. So inventory turnover is a parameter where we can gauge like how in the particular industry what is the standard. So we have to compare with other industry so as to gauge the inventory turnover ratio. So as of now we can see the inventory turnover ratio, it is better according to the industry average. So next one is the financial leverage ratio. Financial leverage ratio provides an indication of long-term solvency of the firm, unlike liquidity ratio that are concerned with short-term assets and liabilities. Financial leverage measures the extent to which firm is using long-term debt. So first one is the debt to equity ratio. Debt to equity ratio is a measure of the relationship between the capital contributed by the creditors and the capital contributed by the shareholders. A lower debt to equity ratio is a very good. So the company which is having the low debt to equity ratio, that company is mostly preferred by the investors. So next one is the interest coverage ratio. So the times interest earned ratio indicates how well the firm's earning can cover the interest payment on its debt. So interpretation over here is higher number the better for the company. So in the Asian Paints we can see it is 75.85%, which is the company we are earning more than what it is paying to the what is taken from the market, from the creditors. So next one is the profitability ratio. Profitability ratio measures of profitability, which is a way to measure a company's performance. Profitability is simply the capacity to make a profit and a profit that is left over from income earned after you have deducted all costs and expenses related to earning that income. So first one is return on asset. Is the measure of how effectively the firm assets are being used to generate profit. So interpretation is higher, it is better for the company. So next one is return on equity. It measures the profit earned by each rupee invested in the firm's stock. So Asian Paints return on equity is 25.46%. So return on equity provides a simple matrix for evaluating returns. By comparing a company's return on equity to the industrial average, something may be pinpointed about the company's competitive advantage. ROE may also provide insight into how the company's management is using the financing from equity to grow the business. A sustainable and increasing ROE over time can mean a company is good at generating shareholders value because it knows how to reinvest its earning wisely so as to increase productivity and profit. In contrast, a declining ROE can mean that a management is making poor decision or reinvesting capital in non-productive assets. So here the return on equity of Asian Paints is good, which is 25.46. Dividend policy ratio. Dividend policy ratio provides insight into dividend policy of the firm and prospects for future growth. So first here we're going to discuss about the dividend yield. Dividend yield ratio measures what percentage of the market price of a share a company annually pays to its shareholder in the form of dividend. So here the Asian Paint is paying 0.60%. 0% has dividend to its shareholders. So interpretation is higher, it is good for the dividend yield should be higher for a company. Next one is the payout ratio. Payout ratio is a way to measure the sustainability of a company's dividend stream. A lower payout ratio indicates that a company is retaining more of its earning to fuel its growth, whereas a higher payout ratio indicates that a company is sharing more of its earning with the stockholders. Investors prefer lower payout ratio because they can continue to pay their current dividend even if they see a drop in earnings. So interpretation is lower, it is better for the company so that it can invest more of its earning to fuel the future growth. This ends our ratio analysis, and next we're gonna continue with financial statement analysis.